Let's take a look at what the markets are up to as we speak. And just a little bit of green seen on the screen, 72 points clocked in. And we have reclaimed the 11,300 mark, reclaimed 38,200 when it comes to the Sensex. What exactly are the big movers and shakers today in trade? Let's flag those off. Zee Entertainment in focus because of its numbers. But one interesting trend that we've observed in the intraday chart, which will come up for you on your screens, is the sort of intraday recovery witnessed back in the green. Zee Entertainment, remember yesterday as well, did gain very smartly, perhaps having to do with Sun TV's numbers. And today, while it was in the red for the most part of the day, has managed to emerge out and back at the day's high, 174 rupees on that counter, 2.6% higher. So it's yet another day of gains for Zee, rather an intraday recovery. But take a look at DLF really. This morning, of course, remember we did have the ET Now exclusive interaction where, Mr. Tyagi did tell ET Now that, the worst is behind, construction activity as well is back to normal. DLF's open interest as well is higher by 19%, indicating fresh longs being built up around the counter. Vedanta Limited is in focus on account of the Madras High Court refusing Vedanta's appeal to reopen the Thoothukudi copper plant, which is one of the biggest plants for copper smelting in India. On account of the plant being shut, India has become a net importer of copper, and yes, until of course Vedanta doesn't approach the higher court for an appeal, this copper plant will continue to remain shut. Stock price of Vedanta as well under pressure on the back of this news flow. While moving on, look at Berger Paints. Massive momentum being witnessed over here a day after it has already released its numbers. The numbers, by the way, were released, I think, last Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. But today we are seeing massive momentum come by in the counter. On the open interest front as well, there is a build-up of fresh long positions which is being witnessed. It's at 567 rupees now, the counter of Berger Paints. And finally, a stock we don't talk about very often, but definitely is the cynosure of all eyes. That's Time Technoplast. This is a company that has managed to develop CNG composite cylinders for onboard application, and it's internally passed all necessary tests under the ISO. It will in fact be the only producer of Type 4 CNG composite cylinders in India for on-board application. Auto companies as well have evinced interest in carbon fiber reinforced Type 4 cylinders as a replacement for steel cylinders owing to several technical and operational advantages. So Time Technoplast as well is buzzing very smartly in trade. But let's keep it with Zee Entertainment. I told you we are watching out for the Q1 numbers for the counter. What can we expect from it? Let's go across to Avan Dabash.
Zee Entertainment will be in focus on the back of its Q1 numbers, and it's expected to be a fairly rough quarter. Profits are seen lower by 55% at 236 crores. The top line growth is seen lower by nearly 37% at 1265 crores, and a 45% decline is seen in the ad revenue growth. Despite the improved viewership, the weakness in the ad spends has persisted in the lockdown, which will weigh down. EBITDA is seen falling on account of the negative operating leverage by 45% to 366 crores, with margins at 29%. The company is expected to report an 8.2% domestic subscription revenue growth on a high base, while overall subscription is expected to grow 5%. The decline in operational costs has been driven by the lack of fresh GEC content, although movies amortization and OTT-based content costs could be higher. The key montrable will be the recovery in ad revenue, traction in digital, as well as their viewership trends.
Okay, Avan, thank you for that.